So we all know that narcissists lie. Everything they've done from the very beginning was a lie. Even who they portrayed, who they were supposedly, was a lie. It was a mirage. It was something to hook you into falling for them. Throughout the whole relationship, it was nothing but lie after lie. But today I want to focus on the narcissist's last lie. It's their last-ditch effort to try to stop you from moving on and having what they know you can have and they know that they never can have, and that's a truly happy, fulfilling life with reciprocal relationships. So if you want to know what that last lie is, you want to make sure you don't fall for it, you're going to want to watch this video. So I've talked to many people in my coaching practice, and something that I've noticed is that for those people that finally recognize the narcissist or the toxic person for who they are, and they finally realize that they don't want a part of that kind of a relationship, they put down a boundary. Whether they end the relationship or they just put the brakes on a little bit, they do something to show the narcissist that there's a boundary here and I no longer want it crossed. I even had one viewer send in audio of his conversation with the female narcissist in his life where he was doing that. He was establishing a boundary. He wasn't necessarily breaking up with her, but he was moving out and he wanted to have space and he wanted to have a boundary laid down. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you watch it because you're going to understand this video a whole lot better. So this is part one of his video when he put down the boundary. So when a person gets to that point and they put down that boundary, they feel good. It feels really good because you're exercising self-love and self-respect. You're basically telling yourself and telling others that you do not expect or will not tolerate abusive behavior, and you're willing to make sure that nobody gives that to you as well. When you give yourself that self-love, when you take those steps to protect and love yourself, it feels good. But then the narcissist does something that completely flips your whole way of looking at it. When we are putting down a boundary in this way, we're hoping that the other person loves and cares about us enough to respect that boundary. And the narcissist doesn't. So we put that boundary down and suddenly they disappear. Not only do they disappear, but suddenly within 3 hours, they're in another serious relationship. We haven't even begun to still heal from the pain of having to get to the point of putting down that boundary or of discarding or of ending the relationship or slowing it down. We're still healing from that because our emotions are involved in that. We're still healing and they've moved on as if we never existed. What happens when the narcissist does that is it creates a thought. I call it the last lie. It's their last thought that they're trying to put into your head. And that thought is that you've made a mistake. They're so happy, they're moving on. You're still feeling pain because you're still kind of going through the breakup or the distance of the relationship. You're still kind of hurting. They're happy, they moved on, and it makes you think you made a mistake. So many people will tell me, Michelle, when I ended the relationship, I was so proud of myself. I was so happy. But the way that they moved on, as if I completely didn't even exist, made me feel as if I made a mistake. It rocked my world. I no longer felt like my feet were on solid ground. So I wanted to make this video for those that are getting to that point where they want to end a toxic relationship that's not healthy for them. This is something that's very common with toxic people. They will move on as if you never existed. They will post pictures of their next relationship as if that's the love of their life. They will look so happy with the next person that you will start to think, well, maybe it was me. Because look, they can be happy with the next person, therefore it must be me. That's part of that last lie that the narcissist wants you to fall for. If you fall for it and you start to try to get close to the narcissist again, you will be falling back into their manipulation. That's what they're hoping you do. And it's not because they want you to be back with them or they want to be back with you. It's so that now they can punish you for what you did. And if you don't believe me, watch part 2 of the video with that last viewer who began to feel those same feelings, who tried to get back with her only to be trampled on over and over again. If somebody goes through this cycle of getting to the point of putting down a boundary or discarding, and then suddenly feeling like, oh my God, what did I do? It reminds me of that commercial. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's about the old lady in the Titanic who goes up on the boat and she throws her necklace in the water, and then you see her diving in after it, right? Sometimes people do that with the toxic relationship. They get rid of it, and then they want to dive in after it, because the way the narcissist acts afterward makes them second guess their decision. So some things to remember to help you to stay strong when you're at that point where they're putting up all kinds of pictures of them in a relationship and they're looking so happy and you're feeling like crap. Okay, some things to remember are: 1, the narcissist is always only about their image. Nothing in their life was real with you. Trust me, it's not real with the next person either. It's just that if they can get you to think that it's real, then that relationship actually flourishes more, because then they're getting supply from that person who thinks they're amazing still. They haven't seen the other side of them yet. And they're getting supply from you by seeing your pain and thinking, wow, look at how much she or he wishes they were still with me. I'm so amazing. I'm with this person and they still want to be with me. Remember, it's all a lie. Number 2, when a narcissist completely acts like you never existed, it's not because you are not a quality person. It's because they want to punish you for leaving them, and they can't handle looking at somebody that rejected them, because for somebody to reject them means that there's something wrong with them, that you think that they are beneath you, and they can't handle that status quo. So they can't even look at you because you are somebody that rejected them as less than you. For their image, their false image to survive, they can't even have that in their life. So they're like children, little children who put their hands over their eyes and think that, oh, because I can't see you, you therefore can't see me. They don't want to look at you because in their mind, you can't exist, because it just, no one could possibly think that they're less than anyone else. They are so up here. So to keep their false image alive, that's what they do. Number 3, something we know and learn in a relationship with a toxic person is that they have no empathy. So while you have empathy, even though you hurt because it's over, there are still things you wouldn't do out of respect and kindness, right? Well, they don't have that because they have no empathy. So that shouldn't be something new. That's just further proof of who they are and how little empathy they have. Knowing this information doesn't make it easier. I know that it doesn't take the pain away. But when we can remember and understand the whys that the narcissist does what they do, it can help us to avoid getting pulled back into something just to get hurt again. When someone discards a narcissist, I have yet to see the narcissist take them back and treat them good. It's always, they take them back to punish them over and over and over again. Don't let yourself become like an old piece of gum to a narcissist, something that they suck the life out of only to spit out. You are worth far more than that, and I know that it hurts if you've discarded them and they've acted like you don't exist. If you want help and tips on how to handle life after narcissism, make sure you check out this playlist.